Hello, and welcome to another episode of Simply Put Podcast with your host, CiCi. Hello, I hope everybody has been having a beautiful and blessed day, week, year so far. We are almost at the end of the year, at the end of 2023, and I am just happy and blessed. So I hope all of you guys are as well. So in today, I have some really exciting news I want to bring to you all. I know it's been a minute, but you are definitely going to start hearing and seeing more of me and others. So let me just get right into it. So I am so happy to announce that Simply Put will be going live on Zoom. So I have Simply Put on Zoom coming out very soon. So Simply Put on Zoom is going to consist of more in-depth topics and special guests from people such as my cousin Usha, who is the daughter of Dr. Sabi and Ma'ab Bowman. Also, I'll be bringing in Doshinko, who is also my cousin and the nephew of the late Dr. Sabi, and also more family members. And I'm also going to be pulling in some clients who have been through the journey of taking our herbs, have went through the healing process, and some who are currently going through the healing process. And I want to bring different people on so people can hear other people's story. You know, sometimes I'm talking to clients and it's not unlikely for clients to ask about other clients and their experience and the different struggles and challenges that they've been through or are currently going through, right? So I think it will be good to just bring some of these clients on so they can talk about their, not personally their situation, but some of the challenges as far as the foods, right? So knowing what foods to eat based on your condition. This is some stuff that we're going to be talking about on Simply Put on Zoom, you know, with the clients and with some of my family members as well, you know, because that's very important. And taking the herbs is one thing, but learning how to go through the transition of finding the right foods for your condition is a whole nother thing, because it's really a phase. You know, the first phase is, first of all, realizing that, hey, I can do better. I may be not eating the proper foods, you know. After I eat this, I'm seeing this happening to my body. So it's first with the realization, knowing that, hey, I need to change my diet for the better, not just for my condition, but just on how I feel on an overall, you know, that. Then for those who don't cook is then finding the right foods that's good for them and something that's very fast and quick, because again, they're not cookers. And then we have the people who do cook, but it's about knowing, for the people who do cook, is more in-depth, because then we're talking about seasonings, we're talking about different brands, right? We're talking about, okay, I don't want to lose weight, but I want to stay on the regimen. How do I not lose weight and still go through the process? So these are all important, you know, and definitely valid questions. And it's not, I don't want to say it's confusion out there, but it's just us and others not being educated enough on the proper route to take for our herbs, for our treatments, for our foods, right? And that's why I want to bring this to the forefront. This is something that we go over with all of our clients as we have our follow-up calls. And follow-up calls are very, very important. And I always tell people, put your holistic specialist on the same pedestal that you do as your doctor in the form of having your follow-ups. You go to the doctor, you have follow-ups to make sure that everything is going as they should be going. And when you're dealing with anybody who is in the holistic field, counseling, administrating, whatever the case may be, you should be having regular follow-ups with that person and regarding their product, right? So I always say that's a red flag, and I think more companies, not saying that all companies who sells herbal products is selling the wrong products or they're scammers or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but I think some of them needs to take it to the next step, because at the end of the day, we are just as me as a client, dealing with other people, even as a client with my own family, we need to make sure that we're getting the proper advice and guidance for us, for me, not just for what you did to the other person. I can use that as a guidance, right? But it has to be altered so it can be customized for my body, my lifestyle, how I currently eat, what my goals are, right? Because my goals is not going to be exactly mimicking the next person. What I eat in my lifestyle is not exactly as the next person. So how can my treatment be exactly the same? How can my dosage be exactly the same? We're looking, as we're talking to different clients, we're asking them about their bowel movements. We always ask about their bowel movements and their water intake every time we have a follow-up call, amongst other questions. But those are the two main ones that I know that I always ask, right? Because it is important. One of the things I tell people, and just to remind them, because it's not like they don't know, but just as a reminder, your food does not dissolve in your body. It's waste that needs to be emptied out of your body. And that's why the cleansing process is just so vital and important. If you're not having regular bowel movements, then everything that you're consuming on a daily basis is still in your digestive system. That turns into parasites, bad bacteria, bad microorganisms, all of that creates mucus, which creates inflammation, and inflammation travels throughout the body. Anything that goes untreated after a long period of time turns into something else. And that relates to food, STDs, viruses, diseases, all of that. It's a process, So, and that kind of brings up the point where I have people asking, well, how long is this going to take? Some people think, and I spoke on this on another one of my shows, people ask, well, how long is it going to take? Some people in their mind, they think that the process is going to take like a month or maybe like a week, because they're like, oh, with this nutritional package, is this something that I have to do monthly? Yes, you do have to do monthly. I was going to say unfortunately, but it's just the reality. It's not unfortunately, it's the reality, because it didn't take a month for you to get this, for it to get to the point that it is, especially if it's going untreated, right? So these are not magic beans. Herbs, no matter who you get them from, they're not magic beans. It is a process, and I know, and from the experience from past clients, is dedication and it's consistency that gets you through the process. I have clients asking, okay, who been taking the herbs and some going in and out of the process, and I have clients asking, okay, well, how do I get healed? Okay, well, you're taking the herbs, that's great, but are you consistent with taking the herbs? Are you consistent with making sure that you're eating the right foods? Are you doing fastings? And fastings is another thing that we're definitely going to hit on, because different people in my family have different beliefs as far as fasting, and that's something that I do want to touch on, because I do believe in fasting. I do believe in you doing fruit fasting, smoothie fastings, so the body can still get some minerals that it needs, and nutrients that it needs, as it's cleansing itself too. So in that process of you doing a fasting is for you to cleanse yourself, because even with the herbs comes in your body and it breaks down your body so it can build it back up. And that's not just with our herbs, it should be for any herbs out there. So you just want to make sure that you're going in the proper order so you can get the best results. You want to get the best results possible as you're going through this. You want to be healed at the end of the day, and you want to be able to live your life, right? So many people are tired of going through the struggles, and I can definitely understand after a while, you get discouraged. And that's why we definitely emphasize that it's important as you're going through the treatment, and even with our herbs or anybody's herbs, you still need to go to the doctor. You still need to go to the doctor to get checked out. You cannot assume based on how you feel that you are cured. You need confirmation. You need a stamp of a healthy healthy life, a healthy body, right? And so you have to go to the doctors. It's not us saying, oh, you've been healed based off of what you told us. That would be crazy. We're not playing with people's life like that, okay? So it's important. So if you're taking any type of herbs, if you're going through us, you already know that we tell you to go to the doctor every 3 months. It gives you a clear conscience, it gives you a clear mind, and it also lets you compare your lab results before you start taking our herbs or any products, and to see the difference, to see the progress once you do have that 3-month checkup. As you continue to be on the program for however long you need to be on, every 3 months we tell people to get that doctor's checkup, and then we go over the lab results, we look at your numbers, we see where everything's at, we make adjustments accordingly with that, right? So all of this is important. I talk about this on Simply Put podcast, but now with Simply Put on Zoom, I am going to be bringing in other people to also talk about these hot topics that are just so needed. We're also going to be getting into doing some cooking on Zoom as well. So I'm really excited about that because I know how to cook, but when I'm in the mood to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not always in the mood to cook, and learning how to cook more healthier. It's not that it's hard. It's just that we've been programmed to cook and to cook a certain type of way because we're looking for a certain taste and all of this other stuff. And growing up, the majority of us wasn't raised in a household to where everybody was only cooking all healthy, all vegans. My household wasn't raised like that. I know some households was, but the majority of the households was not raised like that. So it's about us educating ourselves for our individual bodies and reprogramming our minds with it. So that is something, even with my own journey, I am definitely going to be sharing, and we're going to be learning and growing together on Simply Put Zoom. Now, I do have to tell you, because of the type of content that I am putting on Simply Put Zoom, there is going to be a small admission fee for those. I want to do group sessions so people can actually not just listen in, but you have the opportunity to ask questions to myself, to Usha, to any of my guests, to the clients that comes on board. For anybody who does miss the Simply Put on Zoom, all of those videos will be available on the Simply Put Patreon page. All of these links will be on the website, and if you have not subscribed to Simply Put website, please do so. Please go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, because I will be constantly uploading stuff here and everywhere on all of the podcast platforms as well. You can find us on Spotify right now under Simply Put Podcast. So definitely follow along. If you're interested in being on the show and want to talk about your journey, or even, your encounters with my Uncle Sabi or with my Aunt Ma'a or Usha or anything like that, contact me. Let's talk about it on Simply Put Podcast or Simply Put Zoom. All right. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day and talk to you soon. Bye.